Good morning, everyone, and welcome back once again to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. I'm Mark Love, and today I'm going to be walking around a 2025 Winnebago EKKO. This is the 23B model, which is the one that's built on the new Sprinter chassis. All-wheel drive. It's a new 4-cylinder engine, 208 horsepower, and 322 foot-pounds of torque. I don't know how they did it, but they went from a 6-cylinder to a 4, made the engine 30 pounds lighter, and made it more efficient. So it's actually a better engine now. And the other thing about the Sprinter, they build on the Ford also, but you'll notice the clearance here. If you're looking for something that's really a little more off-road capable, this is the better platform of the two. You get maybe 4 or 5 inches more clearance on the Sprinter. Also, you can see they come with a nice all-season, kind of an off-road tire, where the Fords generally come on a road tire. So I've always liked the Sprinter platform. They're comfortable to drive. They run forever. They get you 15 to 18 miles a gallon, depending on how you drive and where you're driving. But that's what we're going to be talking about today. Let's start, as long as we're right here, with these running boards. They're permanently fixed, but they're really heavy-duty, nice running boards. And, you get much under 5'7", 5'8", you have to step up quite a ways to get in, so it's nice to have them. They've got a couple of tie-downs here, maybe for dog leashes, or if you got a mountain bike you want to tie down. They even, put their little Winnebago emblem wherever they can. This one, by the way, is equipped with the all the safety enhancements, your blind spot monitoring, your lane assist, your adaptive cruise control, and so forth. As long as we're right here, let's go ahead and take a look at the engine real quick. Again, this is the new 4-cylinder, and everything is easy to reach. One thing you'll notice, this sits taller than the old 4-wheel drive Mercedes used to be, but it's still pretty easy to access everything. Your coolant, your oil, brake fluid, windshield washer fluid. You do have a positive terminal here if you need to jump this or give somebody a jump. You got a post over there on the side for your negative terminal. But just a very well-designed engine. Like I say, it's a little bit lighter, a little bit quieter, a little more efficient than the old engine. DEF fluid was right there. You do need to keep an eye on that. As we walk around the driver's side here, let me point out a couple of things. First of all, your diesel fill is hidden. When your door is shut and locked, nobody can get in there. Again, you get that nice heavy-duty running board right there to step in. And again, very comfortable. I like the ergonomics. You do have electric seats. They're very easy to get adjusted to whatever you need. I've driven these, 6 hours or so at a time, and they don't tire you out. They don't fatigue you when you're done with the drive. Okay, now a couple of options you have with these. One of them is your lithium battery pack. Now, standard would be a 320 amp hour with a generator. If you get the upgraded package from Winnebago, it comes with a 640 amp hour battery, which is what this has, and it eliminates the generator. This also has 530 watts of solar. I believe there's 215 watts on the roof, and then another 100 watt panel for 530 total. And this is another unique feature that not a lot of companies use: resettable fuses. So if you do pop a fuse, you just go reset it there. You don't have to hunt down the right amperage and get it plugged in. In this compartment, we've got what looks like a macerator pump. Actually, that's the water pump for your shower to get it into your gray tank. Now, speaking of tank sizes, this does have 50 gallons of fresh water, and I believe it's 51 on the gray tank. And then your black tank is a canister toilet. And this is a 5-gallon Thetford toilet. Kind of nice. It gives you some wheels and a handle here if it's filled and you want to haul it off to the outhouse to dump it or something. Also, these are a standard Thetford part. A lot of people will carry 2 if you're going to go out camping for a long time. You get one of them filled, you can store it in the back and use the second one right there. Then over here, this is just another storage compartment. Now, had we had the original package, this is where your generator would be. If you want to have the generator and the 640 amp hours, you can do it, but they won't do it at Winnebago. What it entails is once you buy it, there are some aftermarket converters that'll add another 320 amp hour battery, and then it still gives you your generator. So if you want the best of both worlds, you can do that. There we go. This is our water compartment, and very simple, easy to understand. I like the level that they put it at. So many of your C's or smaller RVs, your water compartment, you have to get down on your knees. You got your outside shower right here, freshwater fill. You can power fill your tank or run off the city water. Right here is where you'd power fill it. You do get a water pump switch right there. Winterization bypass valve, very easy to figure out. As you can see, we've got antifreeze in it right now. Over here, we've got our fresh tank drain and our low water drains. And then this is our gray water dump valve. Another thing, this unit, this EKKO, is truly a 4-season all-weather. One of the things they do throughout is they give you these little adjustable heat ports. So if I'm using this in the winter and it's cold and I'm worried about my dump valve, I can open that and force some heat down in here. If I don't need to worry about it, maybe I've got to winterize, I can close that and push more of the heat back up into the coach. So they've got 3 or 4 of those around, and they're very handy. Okay, right here we've got a sensor. This is all part of that safety systems with your blind spot monitoring, lane assist, lane departure warning, so forth. This used to be just squared off, a big rectangular door. The newer ones, they have this sensor in it now. That tells you it's got all of the chassis enhancements. So we take a look back in our storage area. This is really what set the EKKO apart, makes it pretty unique. You can see how much room you've got. This one is 2 levels. You could get a mountain bike, probably 2 in here, fairly easy. This little insert here is made to be removed, so if you get a lot of mud or dirt in it, it's easy to clean out. And again, you see we've got another one of these adjustable heat ports. So if I'm not worried about anything back here, I'm just closing that off, keeping the heat inside. We do have 12 volt and 110 outlets on each side, as well as these owl racks, these nice luggage rack to bungee gear on or whatever. While I'm under it, let's talk about our Batwing awning a little bit. Now, this is an auxiliary awning. It's an option, and for people that have them and use them, they can't say enough about them. These stand up to the wind better than the awnings up front. And you can see it's kind of a 270 wrap here. It gives you a lot of covered room, and the wind, the way these take the wind, I guess, are just phenomenal. You don't even need this leg here. And, you know, I've been led to understand in gusts up to 20, 30, 40 miles an hour, you're not going to have any problem with this ripping off or coming down or billowing up. I'm not quite tall enough, but you do have a little extension right here to give your canvas a tilt so the water will run off it. But if it's raining out and you want to come get something from your back compartment, it's nice to have this covered area. Sometimes you just want to get out of the sun when it's on the west side in the afternoon. This would be your shady spot part of the coach, so kind of nice to have that feature. Let's take a look. We've got another access here to our storage compartment. See the 30 amp marine detachable power cord there. On the hitch here, we do have a 2-inch receiver, and this is rated to tow 5,000 pounds, 7-way pin right here. Now the GVW on these units is 11,030 pounds. You can have 500 pounds of pin weight, and with full water and passengers, you still have a few hundred pounds left for gear, 500 or 600 pounds. So it is a great platform. If you're going to go out for a few weeks at a time, you got to carry a lot of gear. You've got the capacity to do it in these. As we step around here to the passenger side, again, we've got another one of the racks on the door here. It's nice to be able to access that storage from 3 different sides. There's another unique feature here about the EKKO. Their propane system is a couple of 20-pound bottles, and these can be swapped out almost anywhere. You could carry an extra one with you if you need to. Prevents you from having to pull up to the propane tank, have somebody come out and fill your tanks. You can just take one out, go to the 7-Eleven or grocery store and swap it out yourself. Truma AquaGo, this is our on-demand water heater, and it also provides your hot water, and I guess the furnace is a separate unit. But the AquaGos are, you know, kind of nice. 2 people can shower back to back as long as you're not taking 20-minute showers each, not run out of hot water. It's sort of a continuous system. Here we've got some more 110s, another 12-volt input there for TV. We also have an input in the back for an auxiliary solar port. And I forgot to show you this one right here. This is a quick connect for our propane. So if you have an outside grill or something you like to use, very convenient place to tie into your propane tanks. And then over on this side, we've got storage compartment. Now, one of the differences between the Ford and the Mercedes chassis, on the 22A, the door is a little more forward, and you get a big compartment right here on the Ford, and you can actually have an outside kitchen. The Sprinter doesn't allow to have that outside kitchen, but you do get a couple of smaller storage areas on each side of the door. And then, of course, we've got our main awning right here. This is a motion-sensored awning. If the wind would pick up, start bouncing, it's going to close on its own. That doesn't mean you want to leave it out if you're going for a hike for a few hours. Always a good idea to shut this one. But that other one, that batwing awning, you really don't need to worry about it. It's going to take the wind. Let's go ahead and step inside and look at the floor plan. Again, this is the EKKO 23B, and just give you a quick look how easy it is to travel through here, get into your bedroom area and all. I kind of want to switch spots here and talk about the table and get this moved around. You can see I've got one of the seats pivoted around. They both actually swing around. And this table, it's movable, adjustable. You can set it wherever you want. It's nice to have if there's 4 people in here to have this much room, but you do have other options if you don't want to pull this table out. And let me show you kind of what I'm talking about. First of all, get this off, and yeah, let me store it right here. Things are a little tight in here, but for 2 people, you can make it work. So we've got a great place to store our table. Our leg goes back in here. Now, let's take a look at what we have here. This actually is designed, you know, you can kind of make a little couch and have people sitting across from each other, spin all of the chairs around, put that table there if you want it. When you're traveling, this is more likely, let me move these out of the way, to be in something like this position where we do have a nice table there. You got a couple of seat belts here, seat belt over here, and you can even flip this up. Like I say, and if you don't have 4 people and you don't need the big table, you do have other options here. You can actually collapse this all the way down and make a bed out of here, something big enough for a child or, you know, somebody short. It's, you know, maybe only 5 feet across there, but it is a nice little option. And this is the main difference between the Ford and the Sprinter. The Sprinter's got 2.5 more feet, and it gives you this option. Where on the Ford, you do have a couple of jump seats right there, but that's about it. So this is where the extra space comes from. While we're here, let's take a look at our storage. And a compartment up here. And this right here, look how it's quilted and kind of a heavy canvas. This is our privacy curtain that goes along here, but it's also a very nice insulator. So if you are at a ski resort or camping in the winter, you might as well shut off the cab, just heat this area. With those adjustable heat ports, you can, you know, direct more of the air inside, and it's not that big of an area, so it doesn't take that much to heat it up. Also, right under here, we've got some RAM tracks. There's a lot of different devices for maybe holding a cell phone or a tablet or something like that. We do have both the screen, the day shade, and the night shade. And this window, actually, you can prop it open so when it's raining, you know, you don't have to worry about getting wet. You can drop your screen if you're worried about bugs coming in. And one of the nice things about this window is it's got 2 places you can latch it. And if you see, if I latch it right there, it allows air to come in. I could leave a fantastic fan on. Maybe you've got a dog in here and it's not real hot, but you want fresh air. You can still seal it off and allow air in. And then when it's time to travel, you just pull it all the way in and latch it. That makes it airtight and watertight. Okay, up here we've got another 12-volt USB and a USB-C port. Some more 110. Okay, we do have storage up here, and that's actually on both sides. We do have some 110 and 12-volt in here. Has the entertainment center. As long as I'm right here up front, I'll talk about the dash a little bit. As you navigate through, pretty easy to understand dash. Down here is your climate controls, heat, air conditioner, fan speed, radio and volume is right there. I can scroll through, this is the MBUX radio, so it does have the Hey Mercedes feature, but also I can do that right here at my thumb tip while I'm driving, so I don't have to take my hand off the wheel. You know, the navigation's probably the one you're going to use the most, other than the radio. If you want to Bluetooth your phone in, you set it right here. This is where you answer it, adjust the volume and so forth. And then over here on the left side, that controls my my gauges. I can scroll through the different menus on here. Go back, and again, I've got a lot of redundant systems. Same thing I've got over on the left side, or on the right side, I can control it right here. And then also, this is where we have our cruise control. This is our collision avoidance system. And then as you scroll through the settings, you get into your adaptive cruise control and so forth, so you can adjust them. And that's all done right here at your fingertips. Nice, you know, shift right there, put it in drive and reverse. I believe this one's got the 9-speed transmission with it. Like I say, very comfortable seats. You do have electric seats with 3 memories right here. Then, of course, your electric mirrors, heated mirrors. Let me see, a little bit of storage on both sides up here. And then this is kind of unique. This is actually your rear view monitor. Now, when I put it in reverse, another screen comes up right here, and it can get a little bit disorienting looking at two different backup monitors, so I can actually switch that one off. There we go. Okay, let's move back into the kitchen area. So right behind our passenger seats, we have our refrigerator. And you can see how much room you've got here. This one actually has a separate freezer compartment. So for a small unit, a 24-foot unit, I guess this is, that's a pretty good size refrigerator. Here we've got our solar controller. This controls our power, monitors our fresh tank. Our inverter is right here. We've got a 2,000 watt Xantrex inverter. If you look up above, you can see there's a port going up to the roof. Most of these are pre-wired either for satellite or additional solar. Maybe you want a Starlink. You can run your wire up there and access it. Okay, here's our kitchen. Now, this is the only cooktop you get, is the induction cook surface. And the nice thing about it is you can take it outside and plug it in under your awning if you'd like. And this actually stores down here when you're traveling. And then we do have 3 drawers here. This one gives you a little countertop extension that goes in right here. So when you're cooking or prepping food, if you need more room. As you come in the door, you've got your master battery disconnect right here, your step switch on and off. These are your awning controls, your light controls, and again, your 110 outlet for plugging in that induction cooktop. A little bit of storage here under the sink. We do have a filter. That looks like it's just a drinking water filter there, not a whole house filter. And here we've got a large stainless steel sink with some residential style fixtures there. There we go. Above we get a convection microwave oven. Like I say, this unit just came in a day or two ago and we haven't got it all unpacked yet. We got some storage here with adjustable shelves. And then across from the kitchen is the bathroom. And this is kind of what makes the EKKO really unique. The way they set this up, excuse me, you can see how much room you've got. And this toilet actually pivots, so I can kind of put it at an angle, make it a little bit easier to sit in there and close the door. And then when it is time for a shower, you pull this wall over, and there you go. So for a small unit, this is a great use of space. It's a larger shower than you're going to get, in a wet bath. And it does give you more room when you're using the toilet and the sink in there. So we step back into the sleeping area. This is one of the great designs. I like the twin singles. And a lot of people my age, or as you're getting up, realize it's a lot easier to get into the bed from the middle than to climb from the end, or like the corner bed, corner bath, somebody sleeping on the outside, somebody on the inside. You have to climb over them to get up at night. This does make into a queen if you want to put this little insert in. And if not, you do have a little tabletop right there with some cup holders. On both sides of the bed, you've got this little storage compartment, and you can actually access it lifting this up also. And then there is a storage drawer here. And you've got the same thing on the other side. Under that panel that lifts off there is your water pump, so easy to access if it's time to winterize it or if you ever need to do work on it. Also, there is a backer on this wall right here, so if you wanted to mount a TV, we do have cable input, 110 right there, and there's mounting some meat back there so you can hang a TV off that wall. And again, we've got the same windows here. Makes it nice to get a good breeze in. There we go. I suppose in the summer, most of the time, this is how I'm going to have it. These here are your blinds. And you can see they're quite insulated too. These are for the front window, the windshield, and the driver and passenger window. A little more storage here. Couple of reading lights. And on each side, you can see there's 110, there's USB, there's 12 volt. You get it again there. And then over on the other side. Also, back here, let me show you, there's another one of those heat ports down in that corner by the bed. So if you want to camp in the winter, you probably have those open, everything else closed. We have a couple more. One is down here by the kitchen, and I believe there's one up by the seats. So that's what I'm talking about when it's adjustable heat. This is truly made to be camped in year-round. It's one of the few all-season coaches other than your diesel pushers or your big live-in style. But for people that want to get off the beaten path, you know, maybe get out in the winter, snowmobiling, skiing, stuff like that, this is a great vehicle for it. Once again, my name's Mark Love. If you have questions on this or want to come down and take a test drive, reach out to me. You can text or call me at 970-631-0083 or email me at mlove@transwest.com. So summer is just about here. Weather's warm. Let's get out and do some camping. Drive careful, my friends, and I will see you next week. Happy trails.